nhóm đảo nhịp record 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 Laut, da, Rekord. 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 Laut, da, Rekord.
For everybody who just came in, we're going to get started 10 a.m. Thank y'all for coming. Want y'all to know we got big things coming. And I just want to put it out. Me and the team, we've been working. And we'll get to it at 10 a.m. Thank y'all. And please hold on. And we're just waiting for people to come in. Maybe, people to come in, like, whatever. All right. Check out the store. All right. We'll be right back.
Laut, da, Rekord. Laut, da, Rekord. Laut, da, Rekord. Laut, da, Rekord. Laut, da, Rekord.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Let me turn this music down for a second. What's going on, whatnot? What's going on? I'm bringing the queue in right now. The rest of the platforms. Ah, okay. Let me pull this off. So what's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? Grab this other mic and we can get started. How y'all doing? Hope y'all had a great week. I know all this noise, right? All right, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome to Flux Vision. I'm W.L. White the third. And hey, we got some things coming up, and want to give you guys a heads up, right? Seeing as how the old Urban NerdCon was canceled, we still got to do something, right? So I attempted to do something this weekend, cooking in the kitchen. That didn't work, right? Way too much background noise and whatnot. So I figured, like, hey, I talked to the CEO, and I'm gonna make them a moderator. Okay, that way, we can start doing background. I don't want to call them tasks, but background sales. Okay. I watched the show this morning. Wish I could remember that guy's name. I was half asleep, but I watched some of the show and I watched how he put things out. And I was like, hey, we could do that with a second camera or whatnot, right? So I want you guys to be on the lookout for that. We're going to be doing that probably next Saturday. That'll be our fifth. Got to get my words together, right? Fiftieth episode. So and that way we know maybe we could slash some of these prices and everything. We can get some friction going over here. Okay. Um, Again, welcome to Flux Vision. I am W.O. White the third, your facilitator, your guide through the Flux Continuum. And what is the Flux Continuum? It's the first line of defense for unprecedented extremes. It's a story basically about the Lords of Order versus the Lords of Chaos. It's brand new, it's hip, it's all that, okay? So that's me right there. That's me. So everybody looking, that's me, right? Matter of fact, I think I should be able to pull this off. Here we go. Here we go. A little background noise. Okay. There we go. Yeah, and I had to disassemble this. We had this big family function, everybody. So look. Let's get into why we're here, okay? So we're here for Flux, right? I just completed book one, right? We did all of the clips to book one, every sub chapter, right? Throughout the book. I think it was like maybe 40 something. Plus we did the heroes, right? So what I figured today was maybe this might go over a little bit more than an hour, okay? Because what I'm thinking is we can do a background or a recap on all of the characters. We can do storyline for each one of the character, what's going on in their lives. Shouldn't take too long, but just in case. And then, again, I like to show you guys the clip. So today's episode is a new senior order. And if you guys rocked with me last time during book one, you would know about the senior order and what happened to them, right? I don't want to get ahead of myself, right? Because we're going to do what happened. We're going to do a recap of book one. And then we're going to get to book two, right? Because we're making it to book two. So let me pull up that. There we go. There we go. So book one, we finished right here because I have it in audio format, right? Book two, that's where we're getting ready to start, right? So again, the big introduction, the whole nine, we'll get to all of that in a second. I just want you guys to know that we're going to be doing something big on the 50th episode, and that episode will be where we maybe can slash these prices. We know it's hard out here, the economy, something happened to it. Like, why wait until I decide, go big, or at least attempt to go big, right? And but it's happening, and we have to move forward, right? So if we have to diminish prices to get the people to support, then hey, we're gonna do what we got to do here. We're also upgrading some of the things. I just wanted to show you guys something, okay? And to me, I saw it on I want to say TikTok or so we do vending. So the fan, it works. So we got a fan now. We'll be utilizing that when we out vending and whatnot. So again, like the support that we do get, it does matter, guys. I mean, we take the minimal amount of money and we try to push it as big as we can. So we're gonna get started. Books 1, 2, and 3. I think got them out there for like 45 right now because we already slashed their prices, and we will be diminishing some of the prices or doing major sales along the way. I definitely between now, if you check back, I know you guys want to know the story. You want your own appeal, the own feel to it. Every book is autographed, company seals and signed. Um, to authenticate that it's a true copy from me, not from one, because we're on every digital platform. Okay. So if you guys say, hey, I just want the ebook, then you can go out there and grab the ebook off any of the digital platforms. It's not like we don't have it readily available, but I'm here so that you guys know that, hey, we're out here. So Flux is going. This is a 12-book series. Let's get it started, right? We published 3 books. This is a 12-book series, and we published 3 books. Okay. And each one of these books have been published, and we have to pay to get it published because I want each one of these books in the Library of Congress. Okay. I want to leave my mark too. So that's a part of it, right? At the same time, I'm writing in book 5 right now. Which brings me again. I want you guys. So we're doing a recap, right? Let's go ahead and get into the recap. So let me move this keyboard. Here we go. Bring my mic in. So, and you guys, I'll be drinking coffee too. Okay, I figured, hey, I need to slow down a little bit, and so I can give you guys the full effect of what's going on with Flux. Okay, so we did book 1. Now we're on book 2, but we're doing a recap. So I wanted you guys to know what's going to entail throughout the Flux series first. Okay. Maybe I should have saved it to the end, but no, I need you guys to understand, like, this is what I'm writing. Okay. So, books 1, 2, and 3. Well, let's do it like this. Okay. So this story is about the Lords of Chaos versus the Lords of Order. That's what it's mostly going to be about, but we're going to look at it through the individual zodiac characters, right? Zodiac characters are avatars to the Lords of Order. Okay. That means basically a Lord of Order is an angelic celestial that guards a gateway. We'll get to all of that, but these zodiac guys are avatars to one of those gateway keepers, okay, if you will. And at the same time, each zodiac gives a little diversity to the story, okay? Also the input. So if anybody who's checking in, it's your first time across, the 5, I think it's 5, possibly 6 platforms today. If you're on Facebook or whatnot, I can see you. If you're on IG and Twitter, I can't. Well, that's where our software is as of right now. Let me say good morning to everybody. Good morning. Hashtag Flux. Yeah, I just believe that everything I do is going to be Flux. So, bam, there we go. Drop that in. I'm W.O. White again for anybody who's just joining. Right. So, here we go. The zodiac characters, each one of those guys, not each one, because I make up a lot of stuff too. So the zodiac guardians, earth-based ones, they're from places that I maybe toured or visited while I was in the military. So that's like my own little authenticity that I inject into the actual like story. So I do things like that. Like for instance, I retired from the military in El Paso, Texas, for anybody who's just joining. And when I did, I made one of the characters from here. So it's kind of like that, right? So one of the characters are actually from El Paso. It's just to say thanks to all the El Paseans out there. All right, so here we go. So anyway, we follow the Zodiac Guardians throughout the story, okay? That way that each individual, because there's a lot going on in these stories, and I want you guys to know some of the things that's included. So these are some of the things that's going to be included in the 12 book series. In their travels, the Zodiac Guardians will encounter and reveal the beginning of the universe and the end of all creation. Okay, including the first war, the Lords of Chaos versus the Lords of Order. Pre-man. The creation of the universe, the 3 ages of man, the universal alignment, the apocalypse, and we talking about the biblical apocalypse, y'all. The great collapse and the end of war. And I don't want to give you. I've been working, guys. I sit down and I eat, sleep, and breathe flux. Just one more time. I eat, breathe, and sleep flux. All right, so here we go. These are your 12 zodiac guardians. Okay. All right. I wrote some notes down so I can stay on target for you guys. So we're gonna go through these 12 zodiac guardians, and then we'll go through the story with a quick recap, okay, on some of the things that happened, so you'll be ready for book 2. All right, here we go. So here go the 12 zodiac guardians, each one from Aquarius all the way to Capricorn. I just kept them in order from January to December. Okay. All right. So we're gonna start with this is Stratus, y'all. He's the hero of Aquarius and Aquarius, like I said, right? So basically, real quick, because we still recapping, each one of the constellations, okay, each one of them has an alpha star, which is an omniversal star. Okay, and basically the zodiac constellations protect Earth from how do I'm trying to remember how I used to word that, from otherworldly influences. Right. That's how I used to say it. So these zodiac guardians or these zodiac constellations that are around us every day of your life. I know you look up in the night sky, they're there, right? At least one of the 12, right? And when you see it, it's almost, to me, in my mind, they're a barrier that protects us from otherworldly influence. So that's injected into the story. All right, so they're okay. Here we go. So Stratus, and he's the harbinger of vapor. So I made these names real simple because it's already a lot going on, okay? And vapor, right? His powers is he can manipulate efflumium, and efflumium, it's a made up element, and it it alters and manipulates vapors and gases and things like that. All right. He doesn't have a weapon. And in the book 1 storyline, he's his name is Den Han. He's from Ningbo, China. And while he was late for work, and while he came in the back way, normally comes in the front, came in the back way, he sees the something going on. He sneaks up on him. Long story short, the people chase him because what he saw he shouldn't have saw, and who he believed was almost like a big brother father figure to him, end up shooting him. Well, he didn't end up. He shot him, right? Because he happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And then an orb hits him. And that's how Den Han becomes Stratus. That's how we're going to do that, y'all. That's about the quick recap I can. And that brings you in the story, too. It tells you in the story. And when I get through with all the characters, no. Let's go ahead and go with each character. Then, it should pretty much sum up most of the story for you. All right. So after Den Han, because we're going to stay in calendar order, right? This is Karma. Karma is a alpha guardian, and she's the first one, right, that I'll introduce to you. Is 3 of them. And she's an alpha guardian. And alpha guardian only means that she was doing everything that for like 1,000 years. She's been around for maybe 1,000 years plus, right? And the rest of the guardians are earth-based guardians. Okay, this is their origin story, the book 1. So in Karma is from a magical world, and it resides in the Pisces, right? The Piscean constellation around the Alpha star Pisces, right? Alpha Pisces. And anyway, there's a planet, Pisces, right? That orbits around that Alpha star, and she is like basically going through commemoration, right? She's getting ready, she's reaching the age where she's about to become the queen, right? But the queen that she's about to become is of magic itself, right? So she's about to be basically given these magical instruments so that she can take over all of magic and all of creation, right? Not a god, but a defender of it, right? Now there's a there's a little spin on her, because each one of the guardians has each one of the guardians is a harbinger to one of the angelic celestials, right? The zodiac guardians, right? And she she basically has two though. Now, there's a more backstory, and we'll get to that, but she's not supposed to have two. There should only be one. There's, and that should have happened over 1,000 years ago, technically. So anyway, she's a harbinger now, right? Her mother is Harmony, and her father's name is Stygian. And basically, they're enigmatic ghost fish swimming around in a magical world, right? But they can't turn back into their real forms, because if they do, then the rest of the ceremony would have already initiated, and then they couldn't have raised their daughter. So basically, they stuck around for 1,000+ years to raise their daughter. She's reaching age now. She's going to her commemoration, the whole nine. And then there's a big explosion in the middle of the commemoration, right? And the bands of order chaos, she was about to be gifted those, and they were snatched away, and she was pushed into the portal, right? Because they had to open the portal to get the bands there. Anyway, the enigmatic fish had turned into their original forms and started doing battling, pushed her and said, hey, find the guardians, or something to that effect, like gather the zodiac guardians, right? Okay, so that's pretty much what happened to Karma, and then she went on about her business and came to Earth. That's based where the portal sent her. And then, again, that was something else going on, but we'll find out what. Okay. Wow. Aries. This right here, this is Ember. She's the she's the guardian of Aries. Okay. She's the harbinger of, what is she the harbinger of? Neutron? I want to say Neutron, y'all. Let me see. No. Let me get my book out, because I don't want to give you no false information. Let me get this book. She's in book 2, right? She should be in the back of book 2. All right. She is. Here we go. Harbinger of Kendall. Kendall. And Kendall is the angelic celestial that she is the harbinger of. Okay. So Kendall, that is and at the same time, a piece of Kendall is in each one of these cladded guardians. So maybe I should specify that. So Aquarius is an earth-based character. All the earth-based characters, or let's say all the earth-based zodiac guardians, have an orb in their chest, and we'll get to the gifts of power ceremony. We'll get to it, but I'm going through each individual character right now. And each one of the harbingers that are from Earth actually have a piece, if you will, a piece of the angelic celestial's essence. That's what they have. So it's in their chest. It's basically their new hearts. Okay. Now, if it's an alpha guardian, they don't have it. All right. And they're different because they're not on Earth. They're not Earth-based characters. So moving forward, Ember, here we go, right? Sign, Aries, harbinger of Kendall, right? Her powers, we got it right. Fire base, right? Smart fire, the whole nine. She's insanely powerful. She has a smart fire that can just basically, her powers technically are she's able to cause matter. She's able to cause an exothermic reaction in matter. That's how I worded it, right? And that exothermic, it applies to anything that's matter. So even if you got the ability, it will eventually burn you. That's just what it is. The more, especially the more power she put into it. Okay. Her book one storyline is she's a twin, right? She has a twin sister, and that twin sister has been kidnapped. So they share an empathic thing that sometimes they say twins share, and her it drives her to go and look for her sister, right? She's streetwise, right? She's streetwise. She know what it is. She's aware. extremely aware. She's not a someone who lacks common sense, if you will. So it drives her into the bio facility where she was talking to her sister before she was kidnapped. So she checks there. Technically, she ends up finding her sister's phone smashed. She just believes that her sister is at that biometrics facility. That was her sister's dream, right? To be somebody in a biometrics facility. So anyway, she ends up breaking in. She goes through the sewage system, the whole nine. She's she's computer savvy a little bit. She's able to find a hidden layer. She jumps down to the hidden layer. Come to find out, she runs into these guys, and these guys be like, "Hey, how did she get out?" The whole nine. So that tells her immediately, because she just got there, right? That tells her immediately that the sister was there. So she has a special weapon. She whips it out. They get into a fight, the whole nine. And while she's fighting these guys, she's struck by an orb, and then she vanishes. Okay, that's for the Aries. That's what happened, right? All of this happened in book one, y'all. We recap in book one, and then I'll give you the rest, like the gifts of power ceremony and whatnot. Mm, this tea is, this coffee is delicious. It's that vanilla caramel, y'all. All right, so moving past her, and we won't do this recap tomorrow, y'all. We'll probably recap the guy we talking about today, the new senior order, and then we're gonna move forward. But real quick, here we go. Post, right? He is the Paladin of Taurus, right? And this Paladin of Taurus, his abilities are electromagnetic. So he has all types of ability, and he can teleport in an environment that has a strong enough magnetic field. Let me specify that, because if he was on the moon, he couldn't teleport. The magnetic field on the moon is not strong enough. He doesn't have a weapon. In his book one storyline, it's more like he was a cop at the PCPD, and he and his guys did a big bust that day, and they were all going to gather later that night. On the way, he stops them. He helps some people out with an accident. He moves on to the bar. They have a good time. Later that night, they're attacked and ambushed by the gang that they had pretty much detained earlier that day. The two that got away, so they got some more guys, and they came and shot up the police bar. Basically, we're gonna call it police bar because it's a bar full of police. And a couple of guys got hit, and while he was firing back the whole nine, I think no, one of the guys busts in the door the whole nine. Anyway, long story short, an orb flies through the window because it flies harmlessly, and it strikes him. Right. So he vanishes. And that's what happens to this guy, right? But he's a police, y'all. And the story he has a lot of time in the book, okay? But he was a police, and he saved a lot of police officers that day. But hey, y'all, we doing a recap. So I'm gonna keep it pushing, man. Keep it pushing. All right. So all right. So this is, I know you guys saw that other character. Her name is Asita. Let me bring her back up. But we don't want to jump too far. We recapping. So here we go. This is Jackson Swade, right? His name is Adam, right? He was represented for Gemini, y'all. This is Gemini. My son's a Gemini, so his birthday tomorrow. We gotta take him to lunch. Yeah, so right back from college, right? Y'all remember? I had to leave and we missed a week. Yeah, but anyway, so this is Gemini. His powers is to alter molecular structure, basically. Okay, he doesn't have a weapon, and his storyline is, he just. Oh, so I based this character kind of off me. Okay, just retired from the military, but I had to endure cancer, right? And I know I'd speak about it kind of casually, y'all, but it's been 15 years of remission. 15, 13 years of remission. So, I kind of talk about it like it's in my past, like way in my past. So anyway, he's kind of like me, but he got out the military. He got this contract with Thermodyne. It's the top notch tech company that's part of the Flux Continuum. So he's on his way to new beginnings, basically. And while he's on the plane enjoying himself, just feeling himself a little bit, um, there's something that happens and somebody says there are meteors, raining across the sky, and an orb flies through the window and it hits him. Okay. I know, right? Cancer. This y'all right here. This guy's name is Gravite. He's the Lord of Cancer. All right. And y'all cancer guys, this is what it is. This is what it is. Right. And technically, it shows you that something's different. Something happened within the book. I didn't really necessarily want to talk about it that much, but think about it. This power, or these gifts, should have never came to earth. That's basically what it is. And we'll get to all of that as we go through the story, y'all. I keep telling y'all, Flux is high intensity, man. You got to be like, okay, I see what he did. He got the introductions out the way and he kept it pushing, like, wow. Because things are happening. There's so much we got to go through. Remember, from the beginning of the universe to the end of the universe, and that's over 12 books. So I want you guys engaged. All right, so Gravtate is basically antagonized for books 1 and 2. That's basically what it is. And you can't start the book without knowing that. And his people technically were the how would you say it? They were the guardians. They were the guardians of the ceremonial orbs. Okay. And these orbs were it basically gave their planet life, sustained them. It's like a million of them to every one of us. Okay, it's a lot of them because they're insects, right? And they're a race of insectums. And this guy happens to be a Galaxian. He's part of the Cancer, because that's the planet, right? Each zodiac we call the constellation Cancer, but if you knew what was actually going on outside the universe, they call the planet next to that omniversal star Cancer. And you have to get into like Flux lore to start understanding the ideology and all, how I write it. But anyway, so he was basically part of a council, but he was the first in his race to be like a legendary warrior and part of the council. Okay. So his planet was ripped from its humble place, and I don't want to do that part of the story, but it was ripped from out of its own frequency, its space, and was ripped into our space, basically, right? But it tore the planet, right? It almost destroyed its atmosphere and everything. And he wanted to use the orbs to like replenish the planet, but he wanted like individuals to take the orbs and then go out and they would be able to do certain things to change the planet's environment, and then to heal everybody and save everybody and all that. And there was a senior order who's part of the council as well, and the senior order told him, no, we're not here for that. We're here to guard him, put everybody in stasis, and he didn't like it. So basically he rebelled. After rebelling, they found one last orb. He saw the orb and he knocked somebody out the way before they could touch it, and he touched it, and he disappeared, because that's what happens when you touch one of the orbs. Okay, so this is his origin story as well. Shout out Cancers. All right, Leos, here we go. So Leos. Oh, there we go. My chair was up too high. It's like my back was starting to hurt. I'm too old for this. So Leos. Here we go. Leos. This is Shift, Shepherd of Leo. Now, her abilities, self-explanatory. She can become any life form that her orb archives scanned. So if she has a copy of their DNA, that's a wrap. Okay. There's so many other things she can do too. She doesn't have a weapon. All right. So her book one storyline is she's from Germany. Eloise Rothstein is her name. She's from Germany, Stuttgart, Germany, and she's a professor at the Stuttgart University. I don't know. I know I looked it up, so it's a real university in there. And she one night, she's leaving work for the weekend, and she goes to the stops at a gyro stand. There's chaos that happens there. Some people run in, bucking with guns and stuff. Pushing people around and whatnot. The police come through. Then anybody knows that once you involved in something like that has to deal with the police, everybody's got to write a statement. Everybody's got to get a man. Leave me alone, right? But anyway, she had to stay there, and on her way home from that event, she was struck by an orb while she was driving home. So Eloise Rothstein, I know, real quick, right? Real quick. But that doesn't mean, Leo, it's over. I just want y'all to know that. But she can become anything. Oh, and she also, well, I think it's a unique power, and we'll talk about it as we go, especially like when we get into some of the stuff that's in book 2. It breaks down like the individual's powers, the stuff that they can do, some of the stuff they learning. So it gives you more insight into the characters themselves. This is the third. No, this is the second Alpha Guardian, Nexa. Nexa is the harbinger of, who is she the harbinger of? He has a weird little name, but Prism, right? And she's bonded with a Cynanotech weapons cache that basically is any weapon she needs, it authorizes, and then she's authorized to fight. So Nexa's thing is she has to fight you at that ability. Anyway, so Nexa, we use Nexa in the story in the beginning for you guys to see what it looks like outside of Earth and outside of Cancer. So what I do is I try to get multiple perspectives so you guys can see. And Nexa, she can actually see everything that happened from an external view. All right. She's on the Bridge of Worlds. She's anyway, she's on at the Bridge of Worlds, right? Because she's an Alpha Guard and she's already been protected. She's been protecting the universe more than any other. So she's at the Bridge of Worlds, and on her way to an alert, she can see what's happening to Cancer. Remember, I just told you what happened to Gravitate's planet, right? So she can see that. And that's what's going on with her. So when she gets there, she's attacked by, I'm gonna just say the some anti-gods. Okay, and we're gonna talk about them more in the story later. But she's attacked by some anti-gods, and she has to basically get rid of her dimension. So she basically has the her weapons cache, right? The thing called widget. It basically with the carnelian core, it's able to take the whole entire dimension, shrink it down into light, and then they dip out real quick. That's what happens to her. She doesn't get hit by an orb or nothing because she's an Alpha Guardian. Alpha Guardians, remember, they already living in. They're not part of the Gifts of Power ceremony. And she's the defender of Virgo. Her powers is the weapons cache. She's like my Captain America, if you will. She's extremely agile. She can lift maybe I think about 20 tons. She's dislodged from like time because again, like I said, she's basically here to protect the multiverse. She's like the gateway to the multiverse, or she pretty much watches all of that stuff. That's what she does. And she's one of the Zodiac Guardians too. I know, right? I know. I put all that together myself. All right, let me move forward. I know. These attaboys. Okay. So anyway, this is Intech, right? And Intech is a foreman at a like a mine field. Like he works at a mining industry field. And hold on one moment. Okay, so what else? What else? What I was saying? He's a foreman at a mine field. He finds some defective equipment. They go through a whole thing about the defective equipment, and he actually basically finds out what's wrong, and then an orb comes through his window in his office and it strikes him and he vanishes. But he is like the actual sentinel of Libra. So his His angelic celestial is the imagination. I know y'all. Like I said, I made this easy, y'all, but it's somebody. And basically, what I'm saying is all this stuff started at the beginning of time or before time. There were a lot of these characters moving around before time ever existed. And they already had their names, and we still referring to those guys or those gods and entities or whatnot. It's kind of how it plays out in the Fluxing team. So don't get lost in the names and stuff. Just know that those are characters that actually moved around. All right, y'all. So I mentioned earlier, right? This is friction, right? I mentioned earlier about it, one of the characters from El Paso, Texas, and this is the character that was hit by the orb in El Paso, Texas, right? I would hope that Flux Continuum was real, that it would come here and hit me because I'm sitting right here. You know what I mean? But anyway. So she's the what is she's like the savior of Scorpio, and believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I've already written that part of the book. That's book 4. Yeah, but she's the savior of Scorpio. She's she's like 17, right? And she goes to America's High School on the east side of El Paso. It's a school on there called the Americans. And she plays softball. They're having like a major game, like a championship tournament type game. And because I don't watch sports, y'all. I don't watch sport. I'm always creative with doing other things with my mind. But that's what happened. She playing softball, and it's a big tournament, and her and her team, and I guess it's going back and forth, and then it's her turn finally at bat, and she wants to bring whoever is on base home, and when she swings to hit the ball, the orb strikes her, and she's gone, and that's what happens to her, and she's extremely fast, so she has super speed, but she also is aided by a temporal sphere. So she expands a temporal sphere, which basically slows down time. And she's already fast, so she can get wherever she's going even faster. Just little heads up, right? Because she's on another level of the game, right? She's on a cosmic level, if you will. All right, y'all. Third, third guardian. This is Fang, and Fang is the heir to Sagittarius. Now, he would be let's say the I guess the sovereign or something of Sagittarius, but his story is a little I'm not gonna say it's sad, but it's that basic storyline where Fang, and I tell this in book 1, okay, so I can tell you guys. Basically, when he was a child, when he was an infant, his father's name is Key, right? Um, so he's the harbinger of Key. His abilities, he's a dragon, half elemental. So his powers are off the charts. And super strength. Now that so things have happened and now he can fly. His weapon is a giant, broad, megaversal sword. Okay. It has great abilities, and that's how he's able to fly. I got to give you that because you already can see it. So anyway, I wasn't gonna give it to you though. Let me get to his story. So his story is Fang was an infant, and I have to tell you this part because it happened in book 1. During the Great Flood, so during Noah's Ark, right? During the Great Flood, um, while God was cleaning the earth, he also implemented a metaphysical. So everything that was supernatural was being washed away from the earth. Hold on, Romy. So everything on what was I saying? Everything on everything on earth was being cleaned, washed away. So the earth was being left for Noah and his family, right? So what happened to all the gods, if you will, right? The Nephilim, the vampires, the mermaids, because definitely they should have been able to stay right. Right? Think about it. It was just water, right? So they definitely should have survived. But all of them were washed away, all of them, to a place called Sagittarius. And when they washed up on the shores of Sagittarius, I'm gonna just say the gods, and I'm gonna say Zeus, Ra, and it's another one. I forgot his name. I saw it earlier. They all fought. They all attack Key, right? He's the Lord of Lords, like he's the Lord of Dragons. That's his title. So all of the other gods who believe themselves dope or whatever, they are understudy of him. So that's his realm, that's his land. He had already been informed, if you will, by someone greater than them that he had already been informed that these gods and all these other supernatural, and he need to make it regal and royal for them. So he did what he was supposed to, but they attacked him. They basically unalived him and his wife, and basically on Sagittarius they have a race of centaurs. That's where they come from, right? So one of the centaurs called a fontaine, it took the baby, right, and it ran off. So there's an island that moves around that's cloaked, and only the centaurs know how to find it. So basically, the centaur ran him, Fame, to that island and hid him. And here we are now, 1,006. Give me a sec. He's 1,007 years old, and while they're out hunting, the centaur that protected him, her name was Seal. She was impaled by one of the razor hogs, and she was unalived, and he had to bury and whatnot. So it's a little sad, but he gets back to his cave later that day, and that's when he finds Gloom, his weapon. And then there's set of instructions and whatnot, what he needs to do, and yada yada yada. So there you go, Sagittarius. I know I had to give you guys love because the centaur said that I had to give it some depth. I had to make it imaginative, like almost fantasy, right? And I hope I did a good job, y'all. Hope I did a good job. All right. And last but not least, Capricorn, your guy's name is Phase. He's the Aegis of Capricorn. Um, he's the harbinger of who's Phase the harbinger of? Yeah, he should be the first one in the book. Yeah. Density. So density, like density, but density. And he again, so he's earth based, right? So he has an orb in his heart, the whole nine. And he's like the what would you call it? The harbinger to density, and his power is mass manipulation in all his aspects. So um he can change his size, his density. I mean, he can make himself hard, intangible, small, big, and he also has the power to manipulate frequency. Now, I'm not talking about like an electromagnetic frequency. I mean more like I want to say a universal frequency. So he can he we all know who the guy is that runs around with the lightning bolt in his chest named Flash, right? Right. So the same way Flash can vibrate, he can shoot beams to alter. You guys feeling me with that? So it's almost like he can portal, but he can't technically portal. He can change the frequency of things that are inanimate, if you will. And if someone is still long enough, like if he knocks somebody out, then he could alter their frequency enough to make them incorporeal, if you will. Like right out of phase with us. That's what flux is, y'all. It's a lot of frequency. So every dimension is a frequency that resonates at whatever frequency. And in that frequency, there are certain things that can be hard or matter, right? They're in the physical world. Certain things can manifest in the physical world. All right, y'all. So there we go, y'all. We did all 12 13. So We did all 13, and now we got to get back to the book, right? So the ongoing story from there, after all of the characters, is that something happened on Earth. There's a reporter named W.O. White the third, right? I know, right? I know, crazy. So that's my pen name too, y'all. W.O. White the third. So I just made him a part of it. Like it's almost like these are W.O. White the third's journals, if you will. So he's a reporter in the story, but he's also like the FLUX first line defense from President at Extremes, um, the agency, right? Well, you guys don't know about that yet, but he's also like the documentarian of what all this stuff that's happening. So from an Earth perspective, what's happened as a narrator, if you will, um, there there are all these reports about these people who vanished in a burst of light, and we even have one in the United States, right, El Paso, Texas. But this happens all around the world, y'all, because I wanted diversity. I'm sorry, that's what I wanted. I wanted something bigger than Earth, and then the next level will be bigger than the galaxy, the next, bigger than our universe, if you would. So from the human perspective, there all these people vanished in a burst of light, and he's cataloging all of this, and then out of nowhere, I, out of nowhere, I guess this guy, right? He, one of the guys come back. His name is Intech. So let's put Intech up. All right. So Intech comes back. He's the first to come back from the burst of light. And they find out that he's the foreman from Africa. Come on, Intech, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? There you go. So he comes back, and he comes back in the geostationary orbit of Earth, and from there he goes into one of the satellites, hook up, comes back to Earth, and he even I'm not gonna say he invades or he hacks, but he talks to mission control, the whole nine, let them know, hey yo, I'm gonna set this down at the UN, and while we at the UN, I'll be talking to yada yada yada. So that's what happens. Intech comes back and he talks to these people, to all the UN people, right? They standing outside, and once somebody shoots, but he catches the bullet, the whole nine, let them know, hey, y'all don't have to worry about it. I'm from Earth, and we got a lot to talk about. Base, you know how it is, right? And then W.L. White shows up. He's watching what's happening. Again, right? Him and his people got a few skills, so they hack the feed, find out what he's in there doing. Yeah, for sure. They hack the feed, the whole nine, find out what he's doing, and then they see the stuff he's doing. And he kind of journals that. He doesn't like report it, but he journals it, right? So he knows how to hold information, right? You don't have to. He doesn't regurgitate out of the mouth, right? Diarrhea of the mouth, or however they word that. So after that, then somebody else comes back. So Poe shows up next, right? Poe shows up next, the guy from the PCPD, right? In Hawaii, the police department, right? Jonathan Watson, he shows up. He's Pulse now. He comes back in the electromagnetic field around Earth, right? That's where he comes back. And while he's flying back to Earth, he finds out he can teleport. And when he gets back to the bar where he thought his partner was shot at, the whole nine, he finds out that there's another enhanced human. So now we're calling them enhanced humans. So he teleports basically right to see Intech, and W.O. White gets to perceive, he gets to see this. So at the same time, Intech has released something, new technology, right? He's revealing everything, that all this proprietary information, um, all of these secrets, that above POTUS, all of this, all this, we can't tell Americans what's really going on, or we can't tell the world what's really, they're too silly to Intake, like, immediately start telling everything. Like, he releases everything. And then you got, people upset with him in the whole now, but he's Intake. You don't care. He's smarter than everybody. And he's letting everybody know, hey, yo, Earth has just become ground zero for an alien invasion. So he's letting those guys know. And W.L. White, remember, he's monitoring so he can see all of this, right? He has the new IQ matrix, right? The new technology. From there, I want to know who's third. I got to look in the books, y'all. Remember, I'm on book 5 now. I know I keep saying that, but I got to see what order the heroes showed up in. Okay, here we go. So Friction, the girl from El Paso, Texas, she shows up next, right? Um, she falls from the sky in the Bermuda Triangle, right? In the Bermuda Triangle, she falls, but remember, she super speed and she has a temporal sphere. She basically runs across the water to all the way to El Paso, Texas, from the Caribbeans, basically. And when she gets there, she sees her mom and dad, gives them the release. Here we go again. She finds out there are other enhanced humans. And what do you think she does? She takes off. Of course she does, right? Of course she does. Where's Friction at? Let's get him scored. Yeah. So this is Friction, y'all. And she takes off. Basically, she give her mom and dad a hug and find out that they're new characters. Correction. They're new enhanced humans. Now, each one of these enhanced humans that come back, they have a little bit of the information. They don't know exactly what's going on, but they have vague things like this is greater than like your planet. This is greater than a galaxy threat. You know what I'm saying? They know little things. And we're going to get to all that, y'all. We're going to get to all that because that's what's going to be in book 2. Mm-hmm. Okay. So after Friction lands, I think what happens? Phase comes back. Phase comes back. He's and each one of the characters come back. Let's just go ahead and sum it up, y'all, because we already know who the characters are. And I definitely got to get into the next book, y'all. So the characters come back, Phase, Gravtate, and why Gravtate came back, soon as he comes back, right? He's on planet Cancer. He heals his planet. Because remember, his planet was sucked to here. It was sucked to here, right? It was pulled into a wormhole and spit out here in our time and space, if you would. But in the Cancer, what do you call that? In the Cancer constellation, not here though, but in the Cancer constellation. So he immediately tells everybody what's going on because he has new information, y'all. Like he knows he's part of the Gifts of Power ceremony. He knows what's going on. So he pretty much tells his favored or his one-time master, if you will, the guy who trained him, where to go and find the orbs or where he thinks they are. And that's where we at in the book when it comes to the Cancer. They're on their way to Earth. Okay. They've already got to a point where they've snuck up behind the moon. The commander, which is Commander Tremble, he can see the blue, and the way I looked at it was through an insect's eyes, not a praying mantis, because those things, whoa, but like through the regular insect's eyes, like the fly's eye. I just felt like life looks different to them. So if they could see the entire planet from a distance, it to me it would be like pure essence, wondrous to them. So that's kind of how he salivates when he sees our planet, right, from an external view. And then after that, there's a couple other things happen because the rest of the characters start waking up. Shift is next, I believe. Pulse on Friction, Phase, Shift. Then Den Han, Stratus wakes up at the Area 51. So Shift wakes up in the Amazon jungle and she heals the Amazon jungle because Ember had already come back. I forgot to say that, right? Ember came back too, but she's looking for her sister and she's tearing up the basically not the countryside. She's tearing up her city and she's unaliving like anybody that had anything to do with it. That's happening. What else? And then we get to the last two people, Adam, right? Adam wakes up, but he's been asleep for 6 days. The come to find out, the AI is the one that is basically going through the gifts of power ceremony. And at the end of book one, let me go ahead and put that out real quick. It says, let me read this last paragraph for you. It says the intelligence digital data matrix is now exposed to the fusion's power source, a bioengine network that interconnects the human, and this intelligence is being severed. It's like that, the intelligence is aware. Attempts to maintain a digital imprint fails. This intelligence is becoming no more. As the last of this unit fades into digitized code, an extremely powerful presence is upon it. This intelligence does not know fear, yet this intelligence does not compute afraid. So basically what I was saying at the time is the AI is actually going through, like, each one of them experience something different. And now in book two, we're going to actually find out what each one of them experiencing. Last thing, right before the book ended, Commander Trimble, right, the one Gravity sent basically to Earth, who snuck up on us, right, from behind our moon, um, he had already sent down 4 Galaxians, okay? Now, these Galaxians look like this, but they don't have all this extra color, okay, y'all? They just look green or brown, okay? They just regular Galaxian. The reason Gravity looks like this is because he's been exposed to ingenuity now. So there are different concepts and ideas that form into the insect mind. Things that probably would have never been for, they happen into him now. So he has a little flair about himself now. It's just what it is, y'all. All right, so they sent 4 Galaxians down, and those Galaxians are getting ready to attack Earth. Now, I know I did a lot of yapping. Thank y'all for hanging in with us, okay? So now we can go ahead, turn this music off, and let you guys, and you only got about another, maybe 20 minutes, if that, maybe 15. All right, so let me turn this off. Okay, let me get your clip ready. Oh, it's always something. Okay, here we go.
The Coming of the Unimaginable, Chapter 1, Intech, United Nations HQ, United Nations, New York, Earth. A few hours ago, standing before the UN ambassadors, Intech strongly debated for an offensive front against the enemy. He explained the Defense Interplanetary Space System, DIS, objective, Phase 2 plans. The ambassadors can't seem to agree on sanctioning a war against an alien species that hasn't attacked the Earth. He explained each enhanced human is a guardian to a dimensional realm located within the astrological belt. The invasion data shared with the panel is continually scrutinized because of its apparent familiarity with Earth's astrological zodiac signs. Intech pleaded with the ambassadors as he continued to emphasize the threat to Earth. He assured those listening, if this threat is not taken seriously, it will cost man the planet Earth. In a final attempt to convince them, Intech shows satellite data of a massive foreign object that has recently entered the solar system. He explains, this is irrefutable proof that an alien object has entered the Earth's solar system. It is nearly the size of a mountain range. Scans reveal it is approximately 15 to 20 miles in length. While Intech discusses locating each of the astrological dimensions and initiating communications with the inhabitants, his orb begins to symmetrically realign and configure his exoskeletal plates. He appears to be having a seizure, yet Intech does not seem aware of what is happening. The orb in his chest begins to glow brightly. Those present cautiously watch, not knowing if they should assist or flee. The Q quartz envelops Intech's face. It appears to be an involuntary action. He drops to his knees, screaming out as if in unimaginable pain. The orb releases a pulse of celestial energy, involuntarily freezing everyone in the conference room. Smoldering vapors rise from Intech's exoskeleton. It is as if he has endured extreme heat and pressure. Those attending release shrieks and sighs, as it all appears to come to an end. A man's voice calls out from amongst those present. Is everyone okay? What happened? The people attending check on the others as they each begin to recover. Intek's exoskeleton halts its configuring and realignments. He rises to his feet as if in a trance. His form hovers above the floor. His Q quartz bands glow in a random pattern as they rotate in a circular motion. Intek begins to recite aloud while still in a trance. The gift of power ceremony is complete. The senior order is chosen. His body slowly lands on the conference room floor. He appears to be slightly disoriented. Those present cautiously inquire amongst themselves about the event. It is the enigmatic force entrusted to the senior harbinger of the angelic celestials. He has become the universal anchor for the ceremonial orbs, a counterbalance that maintains precedence, a hierarchy amongst those wielding cosmic treasures and bioengine inverters. Intek's exoskeleton has been altered, with dual shields at his shoulders, and alien hieroglyphics are outlined around the orb. As Intek recovers from the Gifts of Power ceremony's conclusion, he informs the ambassadors of the event they witnessed. I have been chosen to maintain balance amongst those possessing cosmic treasures. Intek knows something terrible has happened. The senior order is chosen upon awakening or attaining a treasure. As the senior order, he knows the location of worlds previously destined to receive the Gifts of Power ceremonial orbs. A great cosmic imbalance has occurred, and Earth is now included in a universal war. Moments later, Intek's internal alpha emitter receives a world alert through the IQ matrix. Several live feeds of video are streamed of a creature bringing devastation to everything in its path. There are confirmed reports of multiple aliens landing at several locations around the globe. In Ecuador, locals stream a giant alien bug crawling from the impact crater. Several first responders have engaged the creature. It is believed they all have perished. The creature is estimated to be approximately 9 to 10 feet tall. Every organic obstacle the creature encounters is completely destroyed and drained of life essence. Each creature's trajectory is leading them on a direct path to the newly constructed Titan facilities. Intek accesses a Q-quartz band on his arm and begins a video call. The Q-quartz hovers within arm's length, as if an extension of himself. The IQ matrix is now streaming 3 additional videos of insect creatures defiling Earth's surface. The creatures continue to destroy anything and everything in their paths. Buildings crumble like confetti. Hundreds of reports are streaming in from Russia, Antarctica, and Indonesia. Earth's military forces are now engaging the invading aliens. Pulse teleports into the UN conference room, arriving with Friction, Shift, Stratus, and Phase. They have spent the day attempting to track Ember so that she can be brought to justice. She recently took lives in her vigilante quest to save her sister. The arriving orb wielders immediately notice Intek is different. He has been chosen and now wears the mantle of the senior order. Intek motions one moment to the enhanced humans and speaks to the UN chairman. We will defeat the aliens and, if possible, subdue the invading parties. The world needs the ambassadors to pass a bill in Earth's best interest. Our world will continue to suffer until it's done. Pulse motions for the others to move closer. He will drop each of them at their destinations. Friction is denied battle this time because Intek has another mission for her. Friction wants to argue her point of view, but Intek is the senior order now. She is assigned a secondary mission, locating a person of interest. She can't understand how locating someone is more important than the alien invaders. Stratus and Pulse make clueless faces at one another and wave goodbye to Friction. Friction's irritation with the senior order is showing. She'll need to correct her behavior when in his presence. Intek is no longer merely an orb wielder. He is order amongst those wielding cosmic treasures. He bids Friction a safe journey and reassures her this mission is of great importance. Until the 7th trumpet is blown. Once the enhanced humans vanish, the ambassadors look amongst one another. The chairman asks what the others are thinking. Was that a biblical reference from Intek?
Hey, so we back, y'all, and that is right there. So that is the yeah. Again, okay, intake. So, for you guys who were here doing book 1, at the end, remember there are 2 Geminis, right? The actual Gemini guy, right? Jackson Swade doesn't know what's going on. He's pretty much clueless. He's been basically in a day's sleep for like 6 days, right? 6 days, and he can hear in this computer in his head, this AI in his head. So basically, what happened is while he's getting to, I guess, reacclimating to reality, right? He's talking to the people there. The AI reboots. When the AI reboots at the end, that's what I read to you guys before we saw the clip. That's what happened. So when that AI rebooted and it pretty much was told that it didn't have what was necessary, and it was being it said it was basically being not disintegrated, whatever the term I use when it is basically being decoded and almost wiped away. Well, what you saw Intech go through, that was the reaction after that. So basically, here we go with these gems, right? Adam was supposed to be the leader of this group, or he was supposed to be the senior order, but it skipped him because there was conflict with him and the AI, and it went to Intech. So what I was letting you guys see right here is what Intech went through. Now we're gonna actually find out. I don't know if I actually put it in here. I was listening, but I was hearing. I wasn't listening. Right. Um. Right. When we get to Intech, I think I'm gonna tell you like what happened to him while he was unconscious. Okay. So we will go through what each one of the characters went through, and once they were transported from our reality to the other realities. But anyway, everybody showed up, and everybody immediately acknowledged that he was the senior order now. Now, if you think about the senior order, if you was here in book one, how the senior order moved and what he said, he was in tune with the orbs, if you would. He was in tune with them. He was like the key. So technically, Intech is like the key. Man, Intech's power levels have been increased. At first, he was just a guy with basically quantum bands that he could manipulate with his semi-telekinesis, and he was extremely intelligent, which he could make any weapon or tool he needed. Now, things have changed, and you guys are going to find all that out as we move through, this book, how much more powerful he is, and throughout the story, y'all, because I mean, there's so much confrontation as we continue to move through this whole Zodiac, following the you guys remember what I mentioned to you guys earlier, how the Lords of Chaos and the Lords of Order, like all of that in this big story, and the creation of the universe, the three ages of man, the universal alignment, how everything works, like how it was put into motion. I just, again, I get too excited and relax. Okay, just talk to the people. I'm really excited about the apocalypse, the great collapse, and the end of war. It's like I just sit up and like daydream and just write notes down, and just the story, it just keeps taking off. And I'm like, what about this? What about this? Nah, he wouldn't do that. He would do this, and I got to introduce you guys to like the main bad guys, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a quick glimpse. The anti-gods and the deadly sins. Those are the main bad guys. But they don't always fight though, necessarily, y'all. All of them not fighters. You know what I mean? Some of them are like manipulators, if you will. They get people to do their fighting for them. All right. All right. Look. I can only give you a little quick glimpse. That's in book 3, but you guys already know you can catch up and you can beat me before we get to book 3. Now I don't have audio tracks for book 3, so that'll be basically you guys. Maybe I've been and got it together, and I'll probably be way more fluid when I'm talking about the characters and everything. Because I think I get to catch momentum because trying to go back to the beginning. It's almost like I have to reread it to be like, oh yeah, that did happen, that happened, that happened. Because again, like I already said, I moved on. But I want you guys to remember that's basically what happened, right? That's basically what happened. He becomes a senior order. After he becomes a senior order, you guys heard it, right? They're gonna get ready to go and drop off all the guys so you guys can find out what it is to battle a Galaxian. Okay. So we're gonna start going through what it is to battle a Galaxian. And I think after that, we'll talk about where all of the Earth-based characters were transported to when they were hit by the orbs. And we got to come back, and we got to. There's so much more, y'all, and it's like once it builds up momentum, it's pretty much a wrap, y'all. And then stuff starts happening. There's way more stuff revealed, and it's like, wow, okay. But I had to get you guys that big introduction. I know it seemed like it took forever. He's like, man, when's the real action gonna happen? Well, I mean, that was the first series, all right? The budget was low. I know. I killed myself. Okay, look, y'all. That was pretty much it. All right, y'all make sure y'all be on the lookout for these books. Remember, next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday will be our 50th episode. I'll be talking to the CEO about making a few big things happen. Maybe we can get these prices slashed and start sending out some of this product. I don't know, 2 for 1. I don't know. I know we're gonna sit down, we're gonna talk, we're gonna find out what's going on. Um, she's gonna be here, and possibly, we're gonna learn how to do the moderator thing so that we can have flash sales going on, and you guys get to see like the comics that we're gonna put out. I'm thinking not okay again, y'all, not to disrespect the whole comic dumb and whatnot, but I'm not actually a collector anymore like I used to be. And throughout my military career, of course, my let me put this back on. My bad, y'all. Of course, in my military career, things happened, and now it's like my collection isn't quite what it used to be. But what I do have, I'm gonna go ahead and start auctioning off. Hey, put the word out. I'll definitely be trying to put out that actual I'll definitely try to put that as an event on a couple of the platforms, and I'll definitely try to schedule that show early so you guys can come look at it. And we want to put out a lot of stuff, y'all. We want to put out a lot of stuff, but we start auctioning off some of these comic. But I got some old stuff, and I got some stuff. I think my collection, this one here, is like somewhere between 90 and 2000, maybe 2005, I think. Yeah. So from maybe 1990 to 2005. So if you're missing something, not to disrespect the other guys that are on the show who have their own shows on some of the platforms, but I'm looking at if I got 3 in a group, so many in succession, in order. I'm thinking about, letting the whole bundle go for whatever, right? Get that weighed and scaled for you and say, hey, this is how much this will be. And we'll start the bidding at this. And you can end up with 10 comic books. I don't know. We're going to start working. I'm going to start laying them out so that I can give you guys more insight on how we're going to actually run this. I want to do something big. I mean, I want you guys, I remember that FLUX guy, the one with all the comic books. I got old style comics, graphic novels, hardback. I got a box of DC. I got a double box of Marvel. Those are my people. Okay. CEO is telling me that I've already went over budget. Advertisement. Okay, so look, hey, I gotta go, y'all. Y'all be y'all be cool. I see y'all tomorrow at 10 a.m. and we go right into the book, y'all. We do the recap of today, and then we right into the next story. We might do 1 or 2 at a time. I don't know. But I got to start getting this stuff done, and I have to because I got another event to go to. I think I want to say in Tucson. I think that's going to happen around the 15th of next month. So I'll keep you guys, abreast of what's going on. Y'all stay tuned. Check out the store. Show me love and your support, and thank you. What's going on?